Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to Stream-of-Unconsciousness, where the subject's made up and the words don't matter. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for everyone who's taken a look at the videos that I put out. I do appreciate the likes that I have received, the support. Feel free to like and comment on this video if you so choose. Continuing today with things both that I like and that I work on, I thought I would go through some of my Doctor Who miniatures. This is not my complete collection. This is mostly what I have completely painted at this point. I thought about going through by manufacturer, but I think instead I'll go through by Doctor instead and do it that way, just announce the manufacturer as I go through. And I'll try to include a link to the manufacturers that are still extant in the description of the video. So let's start with the one that started it all, the first Doctor. This is from Gale Force 9. These games aren't actually readily available anymore. I think you still find them on eBay and stuff like that. But these were plastic prints. I'd say prints, plastic molded figures. So the detail on them is not quite as great as it could be on some of the other miniatures. But yeah, they don't sell these particular, they all came with like card games and that kind of thing. Can't really get these anymore except for on eBay. But this is, again, the first Doctor, made in plastic. Got some good detail on there from Gale Force 9. And not a bad representation. The lines in his pants are actually sculpted there, so I tried to do a little bit of a wash there that came off reasonably well, but could be better. But overall, not too shabby. Next up, obviously, would be Patrick Troughton as the second Doctor. This is also a Gale Force 9 mini. And these are, the Gale Force 9 ones are closer to 35mm. They're not quite in scale with some of the gaming minis, but it's not bad enough, especially as a collector's piece, because I just display them. It's not enough out of scale to really be a problem. Again, the lines on his pants were actually sculpted in there. That wash was not as successful as I would have liked. As you can see, sculpted recorder hidden behind his back. Very, very Patrick Troughton. Too bad. And then the third Doctor, John Pertwee. This is available from Crooked Dice. So they tried to do a sort of a tweed thing on his coat, tweed tartan, and it's his green velour jacket, smoking jacket. Very nice action pose. Crooked Dice has some really good ones, especially some newer ones coming out that are really spot on that I need to get painted up. But yeah, this is a really nice figure. Next up, just to throw people off a tiny bit, is the Brigadier, as we get into focus. The Brigadier is actually done by me and only available through me. I could probably cast up some copies if people were ever interested, but yeah, I actually sculpted this one to go with, well, I didn't sculpt it to go with the miniature line exactly. Obviously it is in scale with the miniature line, but I actually sculpted it as an homage to the actor Nicholas Courtney after his passing. But yeah, this one is mine. And coming up next is the fourth Doctor. This is a much older sculpt. They're still available through Black Tree Design. This was the old Harlequin sculpt, I believe. But currently available through Black Tree Design. This is the one that was actually released in the 80s. So this one's the sculpt itself. The miniature's not old. The miniature's actually a little bit old. I took a long time to get around to painting this, but the sculpt itself is actually probably one of the maybe not the oldest, but one of the oldest in my collection. But again, this one is actually still available from Black Tree Design. And as number next, this is also available from Crooked Dice. It's a really, really nice canine sculpt. It actually comes with 2 different heads that you can use depending on what mode you want canine in. One is a little bit more modernized robotic, but I prefer the classic canine. The tail is actually a separate piece as well, so the head and tail are both separate pieces that you plug in when you assemble the Mini. But good dog. And I unfortunately don't have a lot. I have some Gale Force 9 ones that aren't painted yet, but I don't have anything else painted up through until the 9th Doctor. So I've got to keep working on painting, getting my collection painted. So this is the 9th Doctor. This is actually a Heresy miniature. Try to distress his coat a bit. Heresy is kind of famous for their slightly chunkier miniatures. It's a good look, especially for the 9th Doctor, I think. I think he's one of the... I think Heresy is one of the few that has the 9th Doctor, to be honest. Or a 9th Doctor stand-in, or, you know, however you do that without the actual licensing from the BBC. But it's a pretty good miniature. Next up is the 10th Doctor, also Heresy. Try to do a little wash on his coat. Now I noticed there are some other David Tennant-esque sculpts out there that are a little bit less angular in the face. And, you know, this is funny after just having said that Heresy is very chunky with their miniatures, which again is not a problem. It's just pointing it out. The fact that this face is so angular, this a version of this could probably also be painted to represent the 14th Doctor, since his face has slimmed out in this particular sculpt to match the older David Tennant. That's not what I got it for originally. Actually, when I originally bought this, I think we were up through Matt Smith, so the 14th Doctor wasn't a thing then. But yeah, I think this could easily be converted into a 14th Doctor. So continuing with Doctor number 11. This is also Crooked Dice. Very nice Matt Smith sculpt. One of the better ones out there, I think. And all of the Crooked Dice ones are now, they used to have to sort of hunt through their website to find them. But these are all now included under a section called Temporal Travelers. So in case you're interested in looking for that sort of thing. I'll try and include that as part of the link that I include for these, just so it's easier to get to. But yeah, very good Matt Smith sculpt. And just because I happen to know this, because I know the sculptor, also sculpted by the same sculptor and available from Crooked Dice, we have Amy Pond, who I believe is referred to in Crooked Dice as Police Woman. And you really need to redo her lipstick. I don't like it. It is way too red. But tried to get the British police vest there. It's not as clean as I would have liked it, but it's a good sculpt. It's a very good sculpt. Again, sculpted by this, actually was sculpted by the same sculptor as sculpted the Matt Smith one. So in continuing with that, I realized that I had a number of Doctor Who miniatures of the Doctors and their companions, although I've been slowly adding companions lately. And I didn't have any of his enemies, so I ended up going to Etsy, and this is where the 3D prints start. I ended up going to Etsy and getting 3D prints of some. Now, all of the ones that I have purchased, I purchased from a company called Bauble Buyer 3D Prints on Etsy. My favorite Cybermen, and it's probably due to when I first ran into them, because I know everyone has their own favorite version of the Cybermen. My favorite Cybermen are the ones from the 80s. I just really love that look. And these are not exact, but they're very good stand-ins. I mean, it's very clearly a Cyberman. And honestly, these are really, really quick to paint up. I mean, it's a Cyberman, he's silver, right? So you just get a little base coat on there and then dry brush the silver, and there you go. I painted this one up to be a cyber leader. You can see the handles on his helmet are black. But these are good prints. I don't have all of them out here, so as I say, I don't have all the painted ones out here. I sort of ran out of room for Cybermen in this particular video. But you get a number of poses. There's nothing other than pointing. There's nothing to differentiate this Cyberman from the Cyberman that I chose to be leader. I just thought, you know, hey, he's pointing. Why not make him the cyber leader? Which is really kind of a late 70s, early 80s thing. But again, number of poses. Up to and including one who didn't fit on that particular shelf. They even have a pose with him just with a Cyberman, with just the cyber weapon at his side. I do like these prints a lot. Again, they're fairly simple and maybe not as detailed as they could be, but I think it gets the point across and they look good on a shelf. Also from Bauble Buyer on Etsy, I bought a selection of Daleks. Now, this is the damaged Dalek. It comes with 8 undamaged Daleks, 1 damaged Dalek, and Davros. I have not painted Davros up yet, and I haven't painted all of the Daleks yet, but I did paint the damaged one. And this is more of a 70s Genesis of the Daleks style color scheme. I realized that the body shape, like the slats and things, are not exact for that time period. But I thought, you know, I've got 8 Daleks. Why not paint them up in different colors, so I have something to represent a lot of different eras. Because the body style is just sort of, it's weirdly speaking, for a Dalek, it's kind of generic, so you can just sort of paint them up to look like whatever era you want them to look like. I realized as I had some in the queue for again painting them to look more like Genesis of the Daleks, that I didn't have any of the bronze ones from the 05 restart of the series. So I thought, you know what, that would be good. Let's paint up some bronze Daleks. That way I have some from the modern and some from the classic era. And all of these either have the plunger or the claw manipulator arm. Some of them, as I said, some of them are going to be Genesis of the Daleks-esque. Some of them, obviously, 2 are bronze. And I thought, you know what, I've got them. I might as well convert some. So I added a little bit of putty, put some pouches and some canvas and some straps, and made them into the Dalek Ironsides from Victory of the Daleks, Matt Smith episode. Just because those always tickled me. I thought they were hilarious. The idea of the Daleks fighting for Winston Churchill in World War II was kind of humorous. But not too bad. It was a quick conversion. If I'd spent a little more time on it, I probably would have made the canteens look better and probably made the pouches more in line size-wise with each other. But, you know, again, these are display pieces. It works. As we get to the top here, we get to the first of my painted TARDISes. This actually was originally from a company called Ainsty Miniatures. Now, Ainsty no longer carries this, and I believe this particular chunky box is now carried by Crooked Dice. So, which is good. I was afraid when it wasn't on Ainsty's website that it was no longer available at all, and I really... This is one of my favorite ones, although all the rest of the ones I've seen always strike me as being slightly too small scale-wise. So I really enjoy this one. But again, I believe this is now available through Crooked Dice. So good that it's still available. My second painted gaming miniature TARDIS. This one is actually from Reaper Miniatures. Again, not bad. I just don't think, for me personally, I think scale-wise, it's a little bit small. It just, next to the miniatures, especially with the miniatures having, larger bases, it just strikes me as a tiny bit small. But that's a personal thing, I'm sure. Still very tall. And lastly, here's a couple of pieces that are only available probably from eBay. The company that made them no longer makes them, hasn't made them since I think the early 80s. This is a statue of, clearly, the second Doctor. This is from Fine Arts Castings. Oh, a little chip right there, that's no good. Fine Arts Castings did a number of various scales of collectible miniatures. Again, this is the second Doctor they did. They did the fourth Doctor. They did a Cyberman. I think they did Leela. Sontaran. There are a few out there. But yeah, they're... obviously, you can't buy them from the original company. It just doesn't exist anymore, so you'd have to go to eBay or someplace like that to find them. So, get a little shot of the under of the base. Painted this one actually quite a while ago. There's some colors I would change for the handkerchief and the bow tie if I were to redo it. As it gives me the side eye. But actually, really good sculpt. Really good collectible. Also from Fine Arts Castings. They did, as I said, several scales. This one is their 40mm scale, which is why he's not with the rest. He's a little bit large in comparison. But I bought him either from a gaming shop or a convention. I think I bought him from a gaming shop, but that was a long time ago. Again, these are no longer available you can't just go into a store and buy these. You would have to find them on eBay or a personal collection or something. But yeah, this I do have one other Fifth Doctor. He's a Gale Force 9, but he's not painted yet. But yeah, Fine Arts Castings. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any markings on the base. I had to look this one up myself because I wasn't sure. I thought it might have been Citadel, but it's not. It's Fine Arts Castings. Decent sculpt. I think I've seen a picture of one that did not have the nose squash. That's a problem with these old. This is actually lead. Old lead miniature from the 80s. So that was kind of a problem with stuff that rattled around in the boxes that they put them in for the packaging at the time. That anything with a sharp point or a really fine detail could be squashed or rubbed off from the old lead miniatures. And that is it for now. That's the painted collection. They're fun to paint. They're fun to paint. I don't do a lot of Doctor Who. Well, I don't do any Doctor Who gaming, despite having two different versions of the role-playing game. We did, back in the day with the original FASA version, I did play that a couple of times. But I, just don't really have people around that are interested, unfortunately, in playing Doctor Who anymore. So, but I do like the miniatures. I'm slowly increasing my collection. Like I said, I have a few that are unpainted, and I'll cover those later after I get them painted. I'd rather not go through them before they're painted. But this is it. This is the collection. They look really good on the shelf, I think. Not too shabby. Again, I will include any links that are current and available in the video description. And as always, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, throw stones. Well, don't throw stones. Throw vegetables. Sure, why not? Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.